It's October 29th, 2024. Back when the case first started, the last of September, 1st of October of 18. Within the first month or two guys showed up and were in the front of Walmart, and they said, Will is selling the login for $25 a pop. It went viral. N13, it's right on Google that they're hacking protected custody cases and selling them. There's a good chance with that police department being dirty out there, where they have framed those two guys for having drugs in their car, and it was baking soda. Falsified police documents, falsified evidence, falsely arrested them. False charges, and they probably didn't think they had the money to bail out, and they did, and they got an attorney and they had it tested, and now they're suing them. Just like, I'm not for sure how to pronounce it, it's Mantua. Police department lady officer had left her child with a police dispatcher, which is another officer. They're all police officers, to babysit while she went to work. They lied that she left her child with a child molester. She got suspended. They both got cleared. Now she's suing them. That county is not going to think it's funny when they have to pay millions of dollars of restitution. It was also on Google. They have got caught stealing from drug cases. He was also publicly trying to interfere in the presidential election by threatening people. Department of Justice, Secretary of State's involved. Okay. So there's probably a good chance they sold it. He obstructed justice in my case. The Tuscarora sheriffs told me they were sending out, the chief of police up there was sending out emails. Nobody was to believe me. Nobody was to help me. Okay? It's illegal. It's Department of Justice 1729. Badgering laws. It's obstruction to justice and tampering with evidence and witnesses. And then he made up this crazy story that I was out with all kinds of men living wild lifestyles. I laughed and laughed. Okay? Now, and like the Tuscarora sheriff, I threw in the trash where it belongs. You can't write up that kind of stuff. It's illegal. Very much. Alright. Yesterday, in Walmart 62, I had went in, and where I wrote on Facebook that my friend from the Starr County Prosecutor's Office said, Karen, with you being an FBI informant, you probably do have a handler out there somewhere. Well, some guy showed up with another guy. Well, we heard what she said. If, when she was small, if she would have ever said, weird with yourself, to a rape victim, her father would have slapped her across the face and yanked her out of that restaurant. He said, my father would have beat me. The other guy said, well, I heard she would like 5 minutes alone with me, and then she'd like to swear at me. Oh, I'd swear, stutter, cry. Never hurt anybody, but I sure would tell them off. And that guy's like, well, I was told nobody was to care about it. Well, where I said, if I'd like to get a hold of my handler and give him a piece of my mind. Either that guy is a handler and he is dumb as a box of rocks. And people were laughing because I put that on Facebook. Actually, constitutional rights, 14th Amendment, you cannot withhold protection. So he's saying he doesn't know the law. He's saying he doesn't know the law. Yesterday, I was in Hartville. Went through Dairy Queen. There's people inside talking real loud. It's echoing through the drive-thru. We found out everything she lived through. She's only an informant. We told that agent none of this is funny. He said he's been laughing and playing these people. Okay? That they think they can make money off this and they can't. Yeah. Back in April or May, I was in Marshall's on the Strip. I seen a guy from the case, and he looks like a drug cartel guy. And I seen him, and I sort of like glare at him. I walk outside, he walked ahead of me. Okay? Went to get in his vehicle. He started laughing that she doesn't know who I work for. I actually work for Will. Will's been playing all these people. And he started laughing to get them. Well, I had went to out with the guy I was seeing. And later on we went to the McKinley Monument. We'll walk around. People were laughing. Nobody thought it was funny. That we all heard that guy say that Will's been playing everybody. But they said they wanted someone's drug connections up there. Well, you gotta think how stupid this scenario is. I called the FBI hotline. I have 4 attempts on my life. 2 of them documented by the Perry police. I have witnesses of the other 2. 3 witnesses of them saying they were trying to kill me. Okay? Breaking the wall that it was them. Okay? I have even witnesses of them impersonating me, costing me jobs. I have now. Next day, they drug me out so bad I can't answer the phone when he's trying to call back so they can get to that agent. Where I called the hotline, him returning that phone call. Huh? It was my husband at the time that's been trying to have me killed with instant call. His little 18-year-old drug cartel girlfriend. And 2 drug cartel guys. And an alcohol leader. It's like a bad joke. Into a federal police department. Confessed Dave hired Pete on his own, a drug dealer, a child molester, human trafficker. And the guy's telling a federal agent he'd been drugging me for the truth. Whether drugging me and framing me, he'd been cyber stalking me. They had a photoshopping of washing, fake sodium pentothal reports for their date rape amnesia reports, and they've been beating raping me. They were doing it for a 15-year-old lie of faking you were sick to cover up Tim and Katie's adultery. And strangely, and I ordered it 15 years ago. Conspiracy to commit murder. And David hired a hitman on his own to have his wife drug beat and raped. They were selling kiddie porn to little kids going potty. It's like, my God. And some idiot pretending to be a doctor selling people's information. And there's HIPAA violations. The whole scenario, I'm surprised that agent didn't fall out of his chair. The idiots came in and confessed to a federal cop. They should have been nailed to his desk. He should have sent an ambulance up there. They would have found me drugged up, beaten, raped in my bed. It's that bad. People even said nobody thinks it's funny. Last few days, we all found out she had actually did have heart problems. I know that. See, they thought all the medication they gave me after I had all those surgeries They cause the heart attacks, the seizures, the brain swelling, my whole body swelled, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down. And it was a medication, so they pulled me off everything. Put me on muscle relaxers and pain medication. But the whole thing of it is, the left side of my heart, I have PAVR, pulmonary anomalous vein return. The left side of my heart only pulls about 50%. See, I actually had been in the cardiac ward about 25 years ago. Both Mercy and Altman. Calcium blockers and nitros. I also, at Maslin Hospital, they did a heart cath. I still have the scar on my leg by my groin area where they cut you and they stick the catheter tube up and they go in and look around your heart. Back then they said I had mitral valve prolapse. That's where I talked to the doctor. I said they gave me the wrong meds and they were causing all that. Did it cause, with my heart not pulling enough blood, did it cause the heart attack? She said probably. One good thing with ultrasound, my heart's not damaged. The heart itself is still in good condition. But it doesn't pull enough blood. See, when I was younger, when I was 17, I had my oldest. I got these horrible varicose veins. And the doctor mentioned, do you have something wrong with your heart? I was going to actually get them fixed once. And the surgeon that was going to fix my legs was afraid there was something wrong with my heart because they were so big. And they came out when I was pregnant. And he thought the pressure from the baby was too much. That's why I got those bad veins. Now, I want you to think about this. My dad had a heart murmur. He couldn't be drafted. It's probably genetic. And it just didn't get found until those idiots gave me the wrong medication and put me into heart attacks. Where people thought there might be. Nobody really checked until I actually went into heart attacks. But yeah, that's where they probably shouldn't have took me off the calcium blockers and nitros. They dilate your veins so that pulls out more blood easier to your heart. So your heart don't overwork. Dear God, those idiots falsely diagnosed me with epilepsy. Gave me seizure medicine. Within 10 minutes, I passed out. You know, I have this bad joke. If you want to find people, you know, the drugs that have bad side effects, you want to see what they do to people, inject her. Here, this one makes your throat swell closed and be like, This one makes your whole body swell. Compazine actually does my throat. It's a whole different story. I once died from those crackpots. It's documented medical malpractice and documented medications. If I would have sued him, I would have been a millionaire. Now, I want you to think conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. Hiring a hitman to harm somebody is a federal crime. Cyber stalking somebody with button cameras in their home is a federal crime. Obtaining and dispensing kiddie porn is a federal crime. Human trafficking somebody, even under drugs, is a federal crime. And then beating and raping them. Drugging them for fake confessions. They have like life in federal, and then try to extort money out of those scenarios. It's racketeering. It's extortion. See, that's where I got my second job. I had to have an FBI background check. My boss said, I'd like to find out why you're clear and you're fine on an FBI background check, and why David is considered potentially dangerous. And I told him why he tried to kill me. Now, I want to ask you this one thing, FBI. What do you mean potentially dangerous? He's extremely dangerous. And you ought to be putting that on his passport. He confessed to a federal agent that he hired a hitman to harm his wife. He was having his first wife drugged, beaten, raped by the drug cartel. Drugged for fake confessions, and had a drug scam of photoshopping and washing. That he sells child pornography. He let a child molester take videos of his grandchildren going potty and let it get sold on the internet. That he put a hit out on his wife for his occult lies of faking you were sick. And how conspiracy to commit murder on his first wife. Potentially dangerous, extremely dangerous. And he confessed all that to a federal cop. Him and that Pete. And that occult leader, like the lady investigator said, that minister should have died in prison. So should Dave. Potentially dangerous, extremely dangerous. They need to update that. And like they've already told you, the guy he hired, the police already know he's a child molester. He's a human trafficker and a drug dealer. And that he framed me. Him and the drug cartel. And their own personal drug cartel tapes. And that's who was in my home before. Nobody else drugs anybody. It's kidnapping and attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. You can't hire a hitman to harm your wife. And then the FBI, where that agent was so mean to me on the phone, within 2 to 3 weeks, Dave's got caught on the phone outside. That he would put a hit on Dixie and the baby. And had a list of people. They were conspiring to kill more. He had him. And then Josh's family had people play with their vehicles. They've had people play with their vehicles. Lug nuts taken off so a tire come off when she was driving with the baby. Reloosened again. Thank God she came back. She had the girls in the car. Tires flat and slashed. Brake systems played with so that when they go to pull forward, they explode. And then by the grace of God, he took the vehicle one day, was way up on 21 in the middle of nowhere, and his car blew up. He barely made it out alive. In time the fire department got there, there was nothing left. Potentially dangerous, extremely dangerous. Somebody that'll hire someone to kill someone, harm them, beat, rape them, exploit them, run drug scams on them, of drugging them up and tell them to say stuff, Photoshop washing, sell kiddie porn, child pornography of his own grandchildren. allow other men under drugs to beat and rape his wife and human traffic me? Even people will say, because they sold the login. We all know Karen's ex-husband human trafficked her. I want you to think about this. They sold a login. It went viral on the internet. In 21, I went to Pennsylvania. They were talking about the case. I went down into Virginia. They were talking about the case. Within like a couple months, I went down to through Kentucky into Illinois. They were talking about the case. People showed up from across the nation. A lot of it was cartel, but there was a few good people. This one couple with children showed up and offered to take, and they said, we'll take care of her. We'll take her home with us. We found out what's going on. And they told them no. Do you know they disappeared one day? Never came back. They had a bunch of kids. These people sell and kill people. That's where last week some lady in Bob Evans on 62, I found out that the police were never interested in her. And they were never interested in a drugged up rape victim that the drug cartel was running a scam on. You tell everybody not to say a word to her, and she puked and puked and puked. And people clear up in Akron will talk about that lady puking when she realized who she was actually helping. The guy said, we all know they ask us all to keep an eye on her because that one idiot keeps trying to sell her. If you pull the case, November, December of 18, January, February 19. I woke up in Ravenna in a foggy haze, and a man walking across my room laid down next to me, and I'd roll towards him in the room and go dark and black, and I couldn't see his face for the haze. I thought I was just so scared and so alone. I was just dreaming of someone holding me. But I woke up with like 6 injection marks 1 week. Okay. People up there were talking. We all know it's Will that goes over and holds Karen at night. You want the person they call Will. That was who. They talk about Harry that time too, where there's a Harry involved. Okay? You should also find the white man with... I woke up to a white arm, white dress shirt, gray pinstripes, and a giant needle coming at me. And then we're going down. You'll find people drugging the hell out of me. If you pull the case between April and June, men will break in and rape me. And they said some guy was taking a payoff to let them harm me. I also will be raped and tortured between July and September 19, midnight to 3. And the guy raping me is a fake FBI agent. Pull 12/21/18. It should be that day where I'm stabbed in the neck and bashed in the back of the head, beat, raped, and left for dead. There will be a shooting night by Christmas of 2018, and my ex called the shooters. They killed 2. You'll see me almost being shot in the head driving by them and 6 stalkers they hired. You will find all kinds of horror. And the California drug cartel, you'll find the guy they call Junior. They will also, you'll have the fake FBI handler, the big bald guy, like lumberjack size, black square glasses, long red beard, that he said he was Karen's handler, and those were his men. And there was 4 men sitting at the other table, and the one guy, the white-haired guy with his hair parted on the side, was waving at me, and with a bunch of other men. My daughter-in-law, Dixie, seen them around me in Maslin a lot. They're drug cartel. My friend Keith, he used to go to Faith Family Church. I said, do you remember the big truck guys? Said they were FBI working my case. He said, yeah. I said they were drug cartel. He's like, Karen, that's fucked up. My God, they needed Jesus. And I showed him the picture of the stripper. I said, you ever see a girl that looked like that? He said, yeah, several times. Where did I see her? I said, at church, making fun of me. He's like, my God, they all needed Jesus. My friend Tess, I asked her the same. And when I told her they were drug cartel, she gasped. They sold the log in the Faith Family Church. There's almost 3,000. I was a discussion in high school within the last 2 years. I was out working in North Canton. Some kids were talking. We talked to our teacher about the case. They said, the teacher said that all those bad things happened to her because that agent didn't help her. Even as small as 5-year-olds have the case. It went viral, including when they made fun of FBI agent John for falling for this stunt at his before. And then mocking everyone. Like everybody says, none of this is funny. It was a drug scam from the drug cartel. And that agent going up to Apostolic Church of Barberton and telling on me. Acting like a crazy occult person, like he was going to go along with it. Mocking me for the rapist Pete, how I didn't know he was framing me. I still have never met him. I hope they get him. He's free. He could be harming somebody else. Oh, yesterday I was at Walmart 62, and when I walked out, some guy yelled out, did everybody make sure Karen paid for her stuff? Of course I did. That was probably drug dealer Pete. He's been stalking me. Okay? He's a rapist. He's a child molester. He's a human trafficker. So is Michelle. Like they said in Walmart 62 yesterday, it's a drug cartel doing this to me. That's where the Hartville police told people not to say a word to me. That agent told all the police he was only playing these people to get the drug dealers. He's only acting this way, but they don't believe him anymore because he didn't pay me. He doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He's only a hired police officer. It's a freedom of speech. And in my case, he went around telling everybody I called the FBI hotline before he talked to me. He was seen by the police telling on me to Apostolic Church of Barberton. And Dave told Danny and other people that he talked to that agent up at that church when I walked off. Last year in November, December, Apostolic Church of Barberton came down to Target. We're out in the parking lot screaming. We told all these people, somebody from the FBI showed up and told us that she called the FBI for help. And we told those people we don't want them around them. It's drug cartel and they're human traffickers. Dave bought child molesters to your church. And serial killers. And that agent acted like he's a crazy occult person going along with it. He fed a rape victim back to the cartel. It's demonic what he did. But very effective. They got over 1,000. And they saved over 300 kids' lives. but they sacrificed me. And he told everybody that I called the FBI. Admitted on a recorded line, he told, and met with all the church people several times. Made fun of me for some guy named Pete, how he scamming me and how I did know. Laughing at me. Made me beg for my life, listed me informant with money and immunity, then threatened me if I told, and he's already confessed he told everybody. And he's only a higher police officer. Freedom of speech, First Amendment. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you. Fourth Amendment, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. You also have the right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. 14th Amendment, no one can withhold protection, and you can't seize somebody's money but due process of the law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. Learn your rights. They're set up so stuff like this can't happen.